Hey everyone, welcome back to Burden of Command. This is the World War II psychological leadership role playing game with a tremendous helping of a tactical war game along for the ride as well. I am having a great time playing it so far. We are with the U.S. 7th Army and we just invaded Sicily, took the beach, and then got stabbed in the back by Italians who were claiming to surrender at Palma di Montefiaco. I can't even say the name right. At Palma in Sicily, sure, near Agrigento, and our men went on a bit of a bloodbath. And I have to say that role playing, the royal we kind of encourage that too. So we'll see what consequences come out of that, if any, next. According to my field intelligence, I have been avoiding spoilers as much as I can for this, so I don't really know what's going to happen next. But I did look a little bit ahead, and it looks like once we get through the next role-playing session, we might actually be heading to fight the Germans. So we shall see. I hope so. Otherwise, my thumbnail about sauerkraut will be a bit of a lie. So anyway, let us proceed. Missing leaders may return, wounded leaders may recover, and surrendered leaders may escape, but dead is dead. Oh man, that's great. Age your men. I think I already went through this anyway, but let's just do a quick double check. Right, discipline. We're going to hopefully make use of that discipline ability going forward. Lieutenant Thompson, the kid, Lieutenant Wilson, the old man. Glad we have both those guys still with us. We lost Lieutenant Stern, Lieutenant Dearborn, of course, the philosopher, the classically educated philosopher from Virginia, and then Lieutenant Glasgow, the replacement for Lieutenant Stern, who unfortunately got killed by the Italians when he was trying to. They told him he was going to surrender. They told us they were going to surrender, and they just killed him in cold blood. Not a good thing. Yeah, it's like these fascists are not just nice people. All right, good to know about bazookas. Better to know who actually deploys them, but okay. I'm looking at just some of the headshots here. I'm guessing these all represent real people that we're going to encounter at some point. 4 August. Wow, we've advanced forward a bit, haven't we? Yes, definitely a Germans.
I always get a laugh when you see this Patton show that he showed him and his entourage and everything coming into Palermo. Well, that was about 3 days after we had already been to Palermo and moved out.
I remember that scene from the movie Patton, where Patton is Patton goes into Palermo with his army, and it's like a big party, like everyone's celebrating, yay, we're saved us from the Nazis and Mussolini, yay. And then he gets a word from his comm guy that it's like, hey, this is a message from General Truscott reminding you not to take Palermo, go no further than Agrigento. And he's like, call him back and ask him if he wants me to give it back to them. I don't know. Speaking of which, I found this very funny speaking of role-playing game and realism, and this is probably a realistic thing here, but the comms guy for Nickel Company is a man named Sobieski, who is, according to the story, an immigrant from Poland who speaks broken English. And I was just thinking, that is so U.S. Army bureaucracy. Hey, we've got a guy who speaks broken English. Make him the communications guy. Anyway, we shall continue. 8 August 1943, Sicily. You look over your left just in time to see Crosley fall back, shattered fingers scrabbling for the red wound in his chest as he crumples to the ground. It's just you now, you and the enemy. You peer out over the lip of the foxhole at the dark outlines of your attackers, lit by the muzzle flashes of their rifles and machine guns. They've gotten closer, 40, maybe 50 yards away now. It's only a matter of time. You fire back, but the pop-up of your carbine is drowned out. as the enemy return fire sprays your foxhole with a storm of debris and lead. No sooner does the shooting end do you hear the pounding of boots on the pavement. They're getting closer. Before long, they'll be right on top of you. I'm not giving up. You keep fighting, firing back with your carbine until it clicks empty. But the enemy doesn't let up. They advance closer and closer. You switch to your 45, but soon there's no more bullets for that either. Thunder. Something picks you up and throws you out of your foxhole like an irate child with a least favorite doll. The next thing you know, you're flat on your back, your ears ringing, staring at a drunken, staggering sky. A figure looms over you, a man in olive drab, a pistol in his hand. It takes you half a second to realize that you are looking up at a spitting image of yourself. What the hell? The other you raises his pistol with a cold, vicious smirk and points it at your head. Sorry, Captain, he says in your voice, but men like us, we don't take prisoners, do we? Time slows as he fires, and the muzzle flash envelops you as your whole world shakes apart. Wake up. Hell of a dream. You wake to the hazy gray blue of the early morning sky and the light of First Sergeant Grant hovering over you, tin cup in hand. So 500 hours, Captain. Time to get up. You wipe the sleep from your eyes with one hand as you push yourself off the cold, hard ground with the other, wincing as every single ache in your body starts to cry out at once. Grant hands you the cup. It steams with promise. There's coffee in this somewhere. Warm aroma wafts from the metal cup as you take it, and your eyes widen when you realize that the mug in your hands is full of coffee. Real coffee. Patterson found it. Morris claims he saw it fall off the back of a Jeep. Sure. Now, did you brew this? If it's good, then yes. If not, blame Morris. Suspicions are put aside until after the first sip. Your objections evaporate as the warmth travels through your limbs and toward your extremities. Enjoy it. This is coffee and chocolate, by God. The coffee does indeed help, but not as much as you'd hoped. Even after you drain the cup dry, a twinge of pain lingers in your joints. Nickel Company has been in motion since Palma de Montechiaro, most on foot, some at a trot. For 3 weeks through Sicily, you've sometimes managed 30 miles a day. The trucks have broken down, jeeps got busted up. Colonel Heinz has even briefly mounted the battalion on donkeys until General Trusk had caught wind and the old cavalryman ordered your outfit to stop putting on airs. Thanks, General. It was an interesting map, though. What do we have here? Allied troops. Coastal show. I can look at them, the smaller things. I wanted to stare. The camera's actually in my way on that big screen. I'm going to have to look over here. What do we have? Italian first line troops. German troops. Yes. Final Allied plan. Where are we? Where are we indeed? Line. Blue line. Yes, the British landed over at Catatina. At Syracuse, I think, right? At Syracuse. That's right. The British landed at Syracuse and were driving on Messina. Messina was the key. Messina. Take Messina and you cut off their avenues of retreat, right? Fail to take it, not so good. The whole 3 weeks have been an endless succession of steep hills and bad roads, punctuated by liberated towns and cheering locals. That was gratifying at first, but after the first dozen dots on the map, it all began to blur. There hadn't been much excitement to break the monotony either. Other battalions led the way, not much excitement except for an air raid about a week ago when 3rd Battalion circled some city to the west. Now, for much of the 18th and 19th century, the city had been the cultural and political center of the island. You hear Dearborn exposit from the other side of the fire pit. Your company's other officers sit by him, coffee in hand, faces showing various degrees of boredom and sleepiness in the ruddy light of the dying flame. Not that it stops Dearborn. The Virginian looks the same, as if he always does when he carries on. Were it not for the fact that the kingdom of the Two Sicilies was, in fact, an entity which possessed great portions of Italy proper, Palermo would have served as the formal capital of Sicily. Crying out loud, Ash, none of us are awake enough to give a shit about this stuff. No, not that I don't appreciate the history lesson and all, Captain. Could it wait until school hours start? It is important we gain a firm comprehension of this island's history. None of us are of Mediterranean extraction, which means we are strangers in a strange land. We must gain the respect and consideration of the locals so that we may prove ourselves to be well-meaning liberators and not mere foreign occupiers like the other gentleman. The other gentleman. Dearborn's genteel way of stating the fact that the enemy-held Sicily is no longer held by Italians. Kind of a nice side note there. Robert E. Lee used to refer to the Northerners. He never called them the Yankees. He never called them the enemy. He just called them those people. I'm going to beat those people today, he would say. I wonder if that's kind of a shout out to that. If not, make it so. Ever since Palma, there's been a steady advance, an advance stopped cold just short of a high ridge rising out of the sea. Survivors from the 15th and 30th Infantry Regiments have told stories about men in field gray coats and coal scuttle helmets with tanks and artillery and machine guns that never seem to stop firing. The Germans. MG-42s, lots of veterans. All. The Germans have been fighting since 1939. They have seen intense combat the likes of which the American Army hasn't. And even their replacement soldiers must have been intensely trained by their veterans. There will be no slack. And that doesn't even touch upon the MG-42s. A single MG-42 can spit out 1,000 rounds a minute. Those who fought the Germans in North Africa call it Hitler's buzzsaw. A single well-emplaced weapon that could and did pin down a whole company. And from an immense range, too. With a tripod and telescopic sight, it can lay down a stream of fire accurately from well beyond the effective engagement range of any of your weapons, except the mortars. As you oversee the trucks that carry forward ammo and wounded to the rear, a bottle is thrust out before you and catches the last of the sun. The label reads whiskey, but the reused cork and chipped glass might as well say rot gut and bar fight. The man holding it has lieutenant's bars and 5 o'clock shadow on the verge of being promoted to a beer. His dark eyes look on your own. Hello, Captain. William Glasgow. Lieutenant. You're a lieutenant. What's the bottle for? For drinking. It's a present. I know you know my reputation, but I figured I'd offer this anyway. Call it a statement of good intentions. He passes over his orders. Regimental orders. You stare over at William Bill Me Glasgow. There have been plenty of rumors about the man, and if half of them are true, he might make a good officer. If the other half are true, he might make a hell of a pain in the ass. Either way, he's Stern's replacement, which means he's your problem now. Professionalism? I wish we could... Can I right-click on him? Can I see that? No, I sure can't. I wish I could see... I saw what it was. You know what? I'm going to cheat. I'm going to look at my own freaking recording, looking at Glasgow from the last... Give me one moment here. I'm not going to be... I would say this is a user experience complaint here. It is sad that I can't see what this guy's mindset stats were from the screen at all. Let's see here. I know I'd like to forward this up here, but I don't have time to mess with it right now. We got it. Let's see. He did have mindsets. What was at the top? Professional. I think that is professionalism at the top. Actually, let's see here. I just wanted to hover over something real quick. Oh, there it is right there. Yes, professionalism. When this mindset is active, a lieutenant may use one her scenario on it. Fortuna, inactive. 2-3 levels need to activate. Okay. Often this company needs things. I know that too, and I love singing it. The men may not like me, but I can get them what they need better than just trusting in the army. It's a promise, of a sort. When you indicate that he's dismissed from the meeting, Glasgow leaves. The bottle stays. Excellent. Yes, we have a fixer. We have someone who can do stuff for us. I like that. That's great. Let us continue. I think I'm gonna like this guy better than Stern, quite honestly. Just saying. Rest in peace, Stern. Sorry. Walking in Sicily. The rising roar of an approaching jeep pulls you out of your thoughts. The little olive drab vehicle kicks up a trail of dust as it speeds toward you, screeching to a halt just a few yards away. You in charge of Nickel Company, Captain? The driver shouts, in so much of a hurry that apparently he's left his respect for military protocol behind. Your affirmation is a quick one. Colonel Heinches wants to see you as soon as possible. The jeep whisks you along a side road and then up a shallow ridge. Below you see tents and campfires and slit trenches, the support area for the parts of the division still trying to slug their way forward. And beyond, in the still dark haze of the early morning, you hear the sounds of distant gunfire and the bright flashes of battle as your fellow GIs make another costly attempt to push the line just a little bit further toward victory. 9 August 1943. You find Colonel Heinches standing at the top of the ridge, binoculars in hand. He waves you over as the jeep comes to a stop. As you approach, he gestures beyond the smoke and fire of the battle in front of the ridge. You see that hill over there? The damn thing is kind of hard to miss. A gigantic spur of rock rising out of the morning haze. Mount San Fratello. From there, the Krauts can overlook every single avenue of advance from here to the coast. Half the divisions have beaten their heads against that damn hill for going on 5 days now. Can't we just go around? Direct. -1. Yeah. General Truscott thought the same thing. The Colonel's finger shifts, pointing away from Mount San Fratello and out into the blue waters of the Mediterranean. 2 hours ago, 2nd Battalion, 30th Infantry made an amphibious landing about 10 miles down the coast behind the enemy lines. The idea was to give the Germans a boot in the ass, make them think they were in danger of being cut off, spook them into retreating, maybe even surrendering. Is it working? If it were working, we'd already be on the road. Navy must have gotten turned around in the fog because they put our landing force ashore in the middle of the enemy instead of behind them. Now they're the ones who need help. And the regiment has ordered us forward to head of schedule to bail them out, no matter what. Heinch's finger moves inward again, where the sea meets the land. Focus. At 0600, 3rd Battalion will be pushing up the coast road with divisional artillery and support. Our goal is to cross the Ingano River, advance through the town of Sant'Agata, and link up with our landing force before they get overrun. I want Nickel Company to lead the way. The Germans are thin on the ground, but expect them to put up a real fight. Time is short. What do you want from me? What do you want from Met? Whoops. What do you want from me? Recon had 2 turns the game length. A direct line to artillery. Nothing comes to mind, sir, because I'm an idiot. No, we're never doing that one. You can keep your friggin' prestige. Artillery. Good idea. Divisional guns won't have direct line of sight on your attack, so that he'd be mostly guessing, unless you could give him some eyes. I heard what happened at Fadala, and I'd like to avoid a repeat performance. Return to your company, and good hunting, Captain. Likely German infantry platoon. Dearborn, Thompson, Wilson, 30 cal. 60mm mortars. MG +2. Nickel Company. All right. Baker Company. Baker Company. Interesting. Okay. You return to Nickel Company just after 0530. You brief your platoon commanders, get your men awake and fed, and give your critical equipment one last check before finally forming up for the attack. Just as the men are finally ready to advance, Sparks runs over to you. His message from battalion, Capitan. They send man with phone and wire for division artillery. Grant breathes a sigh of relief. With a direct line to your support guns, accuracy and response time should be improved. You look at Grant. He nods. The men are ready to go. Guys, I want as much steel as we can get coming down right on the heads of those Germans. No messing around here. I want them nuked. The word nuked hasn't been invented yet, but trust me, you'll see what I mean in a couple of years. All right. What? Oh, Captain St. John with the 60 millimeter. Okay. Wow. We're spread out. Thank you. I'm glad we didn't concentrate here. That's freaking-tastic. Enemy sounds. What does that even mean? Enemy sounds. Enemy sounds. It sounds like there's enemies. Ooh, the Germans. Actual German flags here. All right, mission. What do we need to get? 8 objectives for a major victory, 5 for a minor. Okay, so we need 5. We need 5 to call this a win. Germans. 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 Ah, so German noises here. German noises here. Why is there German noises there, right? Lieutenant Thompson, what can you see? Can you actually see? Yeah, you could see up there. All right. Is there a major victory hex or anything like that? I don't see anything here. Possible movement. Possible movement. Enemy sounds. Enemy sounds. See, this marsh here looks like it sucks. And of course, that's where you have the kid. Good old Lieutenant Glasgow. Glasgow, I should say. I was hoping you would actually get that mindset promoted there. I guess you did not. That's fine. Whatever, whatever. Go back. Well, let's see what happens when we try to go up against the Germans. I am not taking this deployment as gospel by any stretch. I think we come out of the forest and we hit there. And the kid, I'm ordering you back into the forest because we are, see this mess of machine gun nests and swamp? We are not messing with that. To hell with all that. We are coming down from the south. We're going to hit them in the right flank this time. Because I see a lot of nice empty spaces here. And I kind of like that. Because this is a nice empty space. And we're going to be slow moving through this marsh. This is a nice empty space. But that means we're going to have line of sight across it into wherever they are. Where we hide in the forest. So I like that much better. We're going south. Wilson's boys might actually come in and take that stuff there, but we shall see there. We'll see what we're going to do about that. L.T. Thompson, huh? Guy's got nothing. Okay. Okay. Five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Should I send Glasgow to do another quick recon? I can't believe the captain's way back with the freaking mortar. I kind of wanted him up front, but whatever. Okay. Wilson, we're going to move you first. How do your men look? No suppression, no suppression, no suppression. Just the way, I like it. Okay, good to see. Bolster your men.
Duncan, I'm counting on you.
I'm counting on you, you son of a... Son of a son of a...
Hoof it.
It is quiet as your men advance along the coast road. The air smells of the sea, and some of your men move up with rifles slung. A litany of anger draws your attention. A roadside orchid. At a roadside orchid, a rotund farmer in rough homespun wool leans out of a farm room window. He bellows, and very Italian gestures rebuke a cluster of your men as they fill their packs with fresh oranges and lemons. Others simply pluck them from the trees in passing. Crap, this is a situation. You and Grant watch more and more nickel men abandon the advance to avail themselves of the local produce, even in the face of the orchard owners' impassioned protest. Can you blame them, Captain? They've been eaten out of a tin this last month. No delays. Get the men moving. You men are here to fight, not to pick groceries. Such a flagrant breach of discipline cannot be allowed. Grant, of course, doesn't waste any time. Hey, cotton balers, get the lead out! The men in question reply with the requisite round of moans and gripes, but they do start moving again. That is good enough for now.
You heard the man.
Weary. Hey, guys. I know it sucks, but the whole situation sucks. All right? Let's not... Don't give me this, man. Don't give me this. We got 17 turns. That'll be nice. Like we had 20 at Montefalco, or oh man, you guys suck. Like, no, we are not going to screw around with oranges here, guys. Come on. Interesting.
We are needed again.
We are needed again, I dare say. Figured that, sir. Yeah, I'll go on ahead. Just first squad. I confirm.
With me.
Well, somebody thinks they can see them. That's cool, I guess. What is all this red stuff going on there? Interesting. Interesting. Someone can see that guy for right now, I guess. No, 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 no. Wait, actually, yeah, that works. I'm trying to... No, 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 no. We're going to go to there. Go ahead, man. Right. Down the place where we cannot be seen. We cannot be seen this way. Oh, no, 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 no. We're going to go carefully like that. No, 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 no. We can't? Okay. That takes us into the someone can see them zone. The captain will order these guys forward. It's fine. As such. That's right. No need to cause any fuss here. Lieutenant Thompson. Man, I hate to have to order these guys straight through the forest. But by God, that's what I'm going to do here. I don't give a damn about what's going on up here, and I'm perfectly willing to forget this possible movement going on. Like this machine gun, like certainly entrenched machine gun nest up here where they can just overlook everything. Look at the uncertain enemy. Line of sight only. That's fine. That's all I want. Give me the line of sight. Yeah, the way he overlooks this entire area here. Go to hell, Germans. I'm not playing that game. We're going to the south. Actually...
Keep going, Koenig.
I think Lieutenant Tomps. Gonna bolster his men here. Crowd position, but no crowds. Well, we're not taking it.
Let's get him.
Let's go get him. 100%, Lieutenant. 100% LT. Yeah, that's right. Go down this way. We can actually use the freaking roads here. I don't know. You know, I wish I could have deployed these guys. I would have done it better than that, that's for sure. Use the captain's orders to get these guys moving. Just the first squad. Interesting. Who can see that? Who can see that? It's these sons of... Yeah. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe it's these guys here. No. These guys here? No. Where is he? It's these guys here. Possible movement. Uncertain. Yeah, it's those sons of guns right there. They actually have line of sight on that. Good thing our AI told us that, hey, there's a potential enemy that could sight you right there. Holy crap. Would have walked right into that if I hadn't been paying attention. All right. I think we'll stay to semi-cover while we're doing this, though. Why does he lose? Why is he weary? Why are you weary, Thompson? Need a rest, huh, boy? Combat fatigue, huh? Okay, a little bit of that, I guess. All right, it's time for... Oh, I almost said Jellicoe. Glencoe. Glenk. Can you guys see anything from here? Can you see anything at all? I don't know. Sure as shooting can't shoot up there. That's going to be what it is. Possible movement. Possible movement. All right, Glasgow. Dang. You're right visible, aren't you, son? I mean... Bolster you.
This ain't no flop house, boys!
What was it the general said? Only a pimp from a cheap New Orleans whorehouse would have pearl-handled revolvers. I've got ivory-handled. Yes. Nice edge of the world there. I like the way the map just goes off the cliff like that. We're getting out of line of sight. That's for darn sure. There's no reason to play with that. Go that way.
Quickly now.
Almost is too much of a cheat to let me see how that stuff plays out, but that's okay. I'm gonna send that machine gun this way. It doesn't look like there's anyone sighting him. Still out of sight. Nothing to target up there. Captain St. John is gonna bolster the mortar.
Move fast!
I do
stay
want the
low.
mortar to move up a little bit here. I don't want it staying back there. It can move up at least 4 or 5 hexes. This may be where we plant it for the rest of the mission, but that's okay too. Just the mortar. Captain St. John. Captain's going to run down the road right quick, and he's going to end up getting closer. This looks like this is all out of sight, so we'll... One man is... What do you mean rely? What is this red cloud that comes out of him? I would like that would be nice to know what that meant exactly. Nice. Okay. Thus endeth the game turn. Interior lines, boys. Interior lines, right? I'll Jomini your ass. If you got that joke, please like and subscribe. There's a lot more of like obscure shout-outs to historical figures like Jomini in this channel. Trust me, you'll enjoy it. Right. No action from the Krauts, huh? Frickin' Germans. Nothing changes over there. HMG squad, really? I feel like Deerbow, I think we're going to move him forward a little bit here. There we are. On the slopes ahead, in the shadows of a low farmhouse, a distance shapes burst into motion. A family in torn wool clothing being herded through their yard. Their coal-scuttle helmeted tormentors push them into the house with guttural barks of command and fixed bayonets. One of them points toward you as his comrades poke the barrel of a machine gun out the window. Achtung! Die Amerikaner! Feuer frei! Ah, crud.
Scouts, down!
Machine gun revealed.
Das ist ein Heimatschuss!
Well, Krauty von Kraut, I see you're here, huh? Dog, damn it. Did we lose anybody, didn't we? I don't think so. Uh-huh. Is that out of sight? Is that honest to God out of sight? We're pushing forward. All right, as long as we didn't lose anybody, I think we can keep pushing here. I was hoping not to get unasked. I was hoping not to get unmasked so fast, but hey, those are the brakes, right? Unasked is not the same thing as unmasked, right? What is this guy here? The MG42. Yeah, MG42. That's okay, because these guys are... Oh, I see. What they're doing, setting up a kill zone here. These guys get you this way. These guys get you the other way. Who the hell knows who's up there, right? Just third squad. Shoot, he can't make it. Damn it. Yeah, there's no point in moving adjacent. He'll just move to here. That's fine. End of the turn for Dearborn. Well, hopefully no one comes out. You know what? Actually, we're going to position more like that. Now, is there anything the Captain Sinjin should do here? Captain could charge ahead a little bit here. Try to get line of sight so that he can order them artillery to bloop one of these machine guns. Where do we have to be to see that sucker? There. There. Great. Yeah, they got it. Yeah, clever. What about in this house? Nope. Germans are clever, these. Clever Hans. Clever Kraut. There. Son of a son of a. Can I bolster Captain Sinjin? No. I can march down the road to here. That's one. Out of curiosity. Yeah, so those guys get right there. They can see there. On the other hand, Glasgow could get up there, huh? Send the new guy in. Send the new guy. That's what he's supposed to do, right? Son of a gun. These guys are all out of motion. Darn it, that looked like that was clean. I shouldn't have relied on. Apparently, me making fun of how, oh yeah, you can just sort of see where all the sites are. That was a mistake. That was me being arrogant because they saw us and opened up on us. Darn it. Yeah. I don't want to lose those men, though. They're a good unit. They're a strong one. All right. I'm going to move the captain forward, I think. Where can we hit from here, Captain? Smoke. You know, this... Ooh, ho, 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 ho. Interesting. Captain's our freaking forward air controller. Except that's not forward air controller. What do you call it? I mean, I'm sorry, guys. I'm like, I think of all of my terminology in the sense of the United States Air Force. So I'm like, and I hear, oh yeah, he's a forward air controller. You know, sorry, it is what it is. Captain's not a forward air controller, but he's basically like a forward air controller, except for artillery and mortars and such. All right. All right, let's get over there. Let's get over ourselves here, John. Let's continue to play the damn game. It's almost 9:30 anyway. All right. Dang, I wish I hadn't given him a surprise, though. That stunk. All right. Move the captain forward. I don't want the captain to get shot at and all that bejesus stuff, you know? So what we're going to do is move the captain here, just in case he needs to help out with old Wills. And from here... What if we needed a smoke show? What if the captain just... This is risky. This is insanely risky, but let's see what happens. Can they see him? No, they cannot. All right. We did a smoke show. We could do a smoke show like right here. Possible movement, HMG squad. So we know that's an HMG squad, right? What if we just did this? What does it say about smoke? Will decay 100% line of sight block. Oh. Yeah, we're doing that. Bloop it now. We're going to leave the captain right there for right now. And we're going to call it there. I hope the Germans don't just blunder on to Captain St. John here. All right. Something tells me the Germans aren't going to stay put. This possible movement probably is the clue, right? Glasgow, I want you guys to move forward.
Soldier, stop fooling around and get that MG ready.
God, you guys are such wimps. Anyway, let's go. Double time, double time, double time, double time. How can he see to us here? Because he has elevation over us, I guess, huh? Elevation 2. Elevation 3. If I go to here, can I see up top there? Do I have line of sight? I think I do. Yeah, alright. I'm going to chance it with these guys. Let's see what happens. No, actually, I'm not. I'm so not going to... Can these guys creep? Non-weapon team foot units. Alright. So we're not going to do that. We're going to keep moving them through the forest. I'm going to keep those two guys right where they are for right now. Shoot. We're seen, or at least heard. All right, you crowdy krauts want to take a pot shot at my boys? Now's your chance. Shoot, they did! God damn! Oh no! God damn it! You goddamn Germans! Already taking cover. Scheisse. Do you have any other? No, we don't. I didn't think they'd be able to hit that far. Lesson learned. Holy crap. Dang, that was not good, Thompson. But we did reveal this squad here. Did reveal that squad. I'm going to have the captain fall back and he's going to rally them. Next turn, anyway. That was a mess. Well, should we go anywhere else? I think we're going to leave those guys. We'll leave those guys to sit tight for right now. And then it'll be Lieutenant Wilson's turn. All right, Wills.
Hell, you think this is bad?
I'm going to creep forward. Hopefully I don't get spotted. Just second squad.
Stay low.
These guys are going to creep forward also.
Move it.
How did that take up 2 orders from Wilson? He wasn't creeping. Now, my question is, do I want to leave that guy there? And the answer is yeah. Velasco's going to stay right there. All right, whatever. All right, that'll be that for now. End of turn. Oh, yes, end the turn. 15 turns left, huh? That was... All right. Fine. They can't fall back that way, really. They have to go through the freaking... I don't know if I want to rally them or... I'm just going to blast them forward. Can they see? Wow, they can see up there from there. Can they see up there from here? Yes, they can. You're going right there. There he is. Yeah, go ahead. Open fire. Go ahead. Use it again. Use a turn on them. Outgunned. Okay. If this feels... The MG42 has immense firepower, far more than any 30 cal machine gun in your company. If this feels unfair, blame the Germans. Scheisse. Scheisse Krauts, huh? Man, our guys are... You guys are undercover. God. The captain might have to run up and rally them, too, while he's at it. Lieutenant Thompson, I think you're going to have to shepherd your own men for the moment. One, then he's going to run up there and bolster those guys or press them or something. Who knows? I'm just looking at this and I'm thinking... I would never have deployed these guys this way. Like Lieutenant Glasgow all the way down there and his machine gun squad way the hell up there, and then okay, who set this up? It sure as hell wasn't me. There's a lot, Luke. Right.
We'll fill them full of holes.
Yeah, we'll fill them up. Well, that's interesting. Now, it looks like we're kind of stuck here. I think we got attention down here now. We got our attention here, and that's not exactly a happy situation here for us. What can we see from here? Can I see? Thank you. God, why? I want to. Okay. All right. You know what? Lieutenant Glasgow, get your butt in gear, son. You're going right there. Just the lieutenant. Shoot!
Los, weiterfeuern!
Already taking cover. God damn it. Can you order anything on anybody right now? There and there. Oh, wow, you can see them all from here. Fine. We'll smoke them up. All right. Think from above through smoke. All right, who's getting hammered there? The lieutenant? The captain? Yes, apparently it was. Son of a bitch.
Keep your heads down! We'll find the best way.
We will find the best way, I assure you. I probably should have blooped them right in front of the freaking... I probably should have hit the smoke right in front of the guys that was trying to not get killed, but whatever. I'll keep that in mind for next time. I'll keep that in mind next time we go to war. All right, dear one, run for your men. Let's see if this works. I hope. Ah, crud. Dang! Oh, no!
Kaputt!
Oh, no! God! I lost Dearborn. That sucks. I liked him. Son of a... What? Where was he shot from? This guy here, huh? Oh, man. That was a serious mistake. That was a serious freaking mistake. All right, well, so much for that one. Hey, it looks like the same guy took over. Where is he shooting? Okay, that's great. What was he shooting at? This guy here, I guess. No, he can't rally. I should have bolstered him and gotten him out of there. Oh, well. Yeah, this one's going to shit. Oh, man. This one's not going well. Hope our luck holds, yeah. What can you guys see from here? What can you guys see from here? Can we fire for effect? Probably not, yeah. On the other hand, we could try running across right here. I don't think we should, though. What? That took 2 movement points? That took 2 orders for him to get up there? You gotta be freaking kidding me. Why? Alright, whatever. That is a really annoying thing about this game, is that every once in a while, it just seems like there's this arbitrary rule change. Whether it came in the form of the victory condition that changed in the middle of the Palma mission, or whether it came into this right here, all of a sudden it took, for some reason, it took Wilson 2 orders to move up, I guess, to climb up the hill. I wish I had known that that's what it was going to take, because, frankly, this isn't really enough of a visual clue for me to get that that's going to take a little bit of an effort. It's just really, it's a thing. It is what it is. I get it. This is an indie game, and not everything is done to AAA specs. Fine, whatever. It's still a great game, but those are little annoyances. I will say that. And I'm sitting here, I'm thinking, at this point, what if I just sit here? What if I don't advance any further? What if I just take the major defeat and call it at this point? That thought did occur to me right now. All right, let's see what else we can do here. Let's see what happens next. Nothing. Interesting. Dang it, on that rally, I wanted to bolster, son of a... Ah! I actually feel like save scumming that one. I did not mean to rally. I wanted to bolster those guys, and I just hit the R instead of... Yeah, let's rally them and get moving. Son of a bum. Like, I wish I had an undo button for just stupid shit like that. Oh well. Oh, Jesus, are you kidding me? I can't see there from here? God damn you. Watch, now he'll get shot up. If he dies, I'm ending the game. Yeah. Take him right there. I guess there wasn't anyone there, huh? Yeah, whatever.
Deckungsfeuer! Haltet sie in Deckung!
They're undaunted, at least. That's great.
Haltet drauf!
So the smoke does nothing, huh?
Das ist ein Heimatschuss!
From above, heavy smoke. What does that even mean? First machine gun, WP. All right. Glasgow.
This don't look so great.
Sammeln!
Who is this guy? Lieutenant Shaw, acting Lieutenant Shaw. All right.
Wir gehen nach Hause.
So how can we save this situation here? I mean, obviously, if we move here, it's not just a matter of that machine gun. It's everywhere. I've been overthinking this problem, trying to put out too many fires. This is exactly what I wanted to avoid. We should have sent literally everyone down here. That would have taken forever to move them all down there. You know what? Next time I'm going to take forever. Next time I am going to take forever. And headquarters can sit on it. Airburst, cover ignored. Airburst in the woods are dangerous. Alright, well, let's just start hitting these guys one at a time. Some luck would have been nice there. Great.
The men are waiting.
That's great. Move forward needs 2 orders. Only have one dude in low morale. Okay. Well, that's not move forward. Okay. Move. This isn't move forward. This is move backward. Why is this impossible? Jesus Christ. Some explanation of the rules would be nice here, guys. I get that I can't fire or move forward, but it looks like I should be able to move backward, but you're not letting me. Open fire. Let him burn it up. You're just going to sit there. Possible movement. Yeah, thank you. Wasn't I supposed to get some kind of like heavy artillery or something? I seem to remember that being ordered from the beginning. All right. Go ahead, hit the kid again.
Willkommen zum Krieg! Gefreiter!
All right, you guys are just going to fall back. Shit on you. You fucking assholes. You know what? Just go ahead and die. Just retreat. Oh, no, we can't. Okay. You know what? So much for that squad.
Auf geht's, ihr Frontschweine!
Scheiter.
Wir gehen nach Hause.
Maneuvers. MC
Wir
risk
gehen nach
explosive.
Hause. Hose them down!
Son of a whore. Can you hit him? The Germans may be relocating. Track their movements.
I see them.
Exposed. Flanked from above. Okay.
Geht's um die
The
Sohlmäuschen.
Germans are relocating.
Zack, zack.
Track their movements. Okay, they're going from the south to the north. What of it? All right, fine. I think we're just going to hold these guys in position. Oh, it's not going to be good. It's not going to be good. Somehow they're not seeing him there. What I need is artillery. I don't have artillery. I'm not going to go charging across these things and order these men to just die for no good purpose, so we're just going to hang tight for now. Let's see what happens. I guess I should have known that there was stuff happening over here, so I guess I'm watching a little bit. They're withdrawing. Barreled through token opposition or something, huh? Do we have artillery yet? Nope. And the turn. Good.
Captain needs everyone, now!
Get those guys rallied. Get these guys all rallied.
Hernandez, pull it together.
All right. You guys are all rallied. Can you shoot at anything from here? Try it. Why not? Heavy smoke. Okay. Shoot him again. We're just going to creep forward. This is what we should have done initially. He only has one order. All right, that's why. Oh, really?
Willkommen zum Krieg.
Jesus. Why am I not getting the correct input to indicate that that's part of the LOS? You're either giving me that information or you're not.
Los, weiter feuern! Amis?
hit him again. Gray movement. PFC Keller, sleeve torn and ragged, hurries over. Takes cover beside you. The crowds are backing off, Captain. Where are they going? East, mostly. Toward the beachhead, First Sergeant Grant asks. Maybe. It seems like they're hoofing a trade east, but maybe they're turning a bit north if you squint real hard. We need to turn them south instead. Tell battalion we're winning. Accept a mission draw. Accept a men major victory. Not easy to do. We haven't taken any of the battalion's objectives, and losses have been... What could have been worse? How do you want to handle the crowds? Scouts, you know what? Regroup. They can retreat. We'll take a draw. Wonderful. Company across the river. Prestige earned 17. Loyalty earned 11. No one out of actions. No one out of action? What about Dearborn?
This is the real stuff. Captured German film showing their automatic weapons in action. These are the weapons we're up against in the European and Mediterranean theaters of operation. But we've captured not only the film, but the actual weapons and ammunition. Just what are they like?
Grease gun.
How fast and how accurately do they fire compared to our weapons?
Faster and more accurately.
And most important to you, how do they sound? Well, here's their 34. Now they're 42.
Guys, use ear protection,
And
please.
here's their Schmeiser.
The Schmeiser. The cacophony of combat fades. The battle for St. Agatha. St. Agatha erupts in a hail of tracers, and suddenly it feels like it's the 4th of July. Beneath it all are the less well-seen cracks of rifle and rattles of machine guns. There's even the lone crack of pistol shots heard amid the din. Then just as soon as it started, the furor ended. When it is clear that it isn't another damned ruse, you press forward with the men. Yet even amid the narrow streets of the town, there's no sign of the enemy. Only abandoned sandbag positions and terrified civilians. The Germans are gone. What you do find are salt-encrusted infantry patrols in olive drab with blue and white 3rd Division patches on their shoulders. The forward elements of 30th Infantry's landing force. A quick chat reveals that the landing force was able to take matters into their own hands because the Germans bugged out when they realized they were under attack from both sides. Colonel Heiches isn't exactly angry at you, not quite. At least you got the job done at the end. I wish you'd gotten around to it faster, though. That landing force took one hell of a beating waiting for you to arrive, but they did make it. That night, as your company makes camp near the churned beachhead, the conversation around the fire inevitably turns to the topic of today's battle, or rather to the men who faced you. I wouldn't have believed it if I hadn't seen it with my own eyes. To think that anyone could keep fighting even after everything we threw at them. How do we even beat men like that? I got it on worse today, Glasgow says as he lights up a cigar. In the end, this will go down like it did with the French and the Italians. Hell, in a few years, the Krauts will be our friends. And we beat him. Last war, but it sure as hell wasn't easy. Fight professionally. To beat them, we need to be just as disciplined. To beat them, we need to be just as disciplined. Oh, hell, it ain't a parade drill our boys need. Oh, okay, caution, fine. It's a victory. If we prove that the Krauts can be beaten again and again with the right preparations, and our boys will be more than a match for anything Hitler's got. The new Lieutenant Glasgow doesn't seem to want to make any waves, though from the way he nods along, you know he would ordinarily have some things to add. Stern advances discipline, okay. I'm not sure I like the sound of what you're saying, Captain. I'm all for being prepared, but we don't want to make the men get used to blindly following orders. Isn't that how the Germans got into this mess in the first place? Word gives way to exhaustion. Sea rations are gulped down, and everyone withdraws to bedrolls with an exhausted, weary consensus. You check the map one last time before lying down. Regiment made an advance of 3 miles, a quick trip in a pass car, but this stretch was gained only after a day of hard fighting. The map is cased back up for the night. Sleep beckons, and the Germans aren't going anywhere. Tomorrow will be another hard fight. Well, so my only question is, did we lose Lieutenant Dearborn for good here? Did he die? I didn't say anything. The little glitchy thing about Stern. Let's see what happens. I go to aid my men. Oh no, Acting Lieutenant Shaw. What does Acting Lieutenant Shaw give us? Discipline and... yeah, okay. Lieutenant Thompson. He's got kind of... wow, you know, he's just a grab bag. He advanced caution. Glasgow advanced... he actually advanced discipline. All right. 14, 259, 452. 6. $225, 525. 302, nice, but he's got a man down. 420, 259, 14. We need to give this guy a little bit of juice here. 5 prestige. Won't make it. I can get him up a level. Get him up a level. No. One. I don't want to give him anything lest he actually... yeah, we'll give him an extra juice there. Darn it. And what we could just... no. We need somebody to have 5 stars, right? Right. 108, 136, 77, 1. Can the captain do anything at this point? No, he's got the trust. I'd like to know what my overall trust is here. All right, we will, I guess, continue the journey. War is mainly a catalogue of blunders. Madam, we are just negotiating on price. When do we meet Mademoiselle Cross de Lorraine, I wonder? We already met the reporter up here. And who are these guys? Assuming there's somebody. Hey, it's those two guys. I like those guys. $1 Million Ridge. This does not sound like a good thing. $1 Million Ridge. 10 August 1943. Sicily. Oh, wow. Straight up the middle.
Wherever the 7th Infantry went, we went. I mean, if they needed us to go out and clean a mine, you know, say they got pinned down by a minefield or something like that, we'd have to go out in front of the infantry and pick up that
What was your
minefield
job?
and clear it out. We wouldn't take the whole minefield. We would clear a path through for them.
What was your job exactly? How did you get that job?
Falschen Panzer Division.
Give me operations way down in some lonely atoll. The Germans make a stand at the next crossroads, or the next river, the next ridge. Time and again, Nickel Company is rotated forward to flank the foe. The enemy fights hard for a few minutes or a few hours and then slips away. Stress, a black cloud on a clear day. Man, this looks like it's frickin' Gallipoli. The next night, First Sergeant Grant escorts Corporal Becker into your command tent on the reverse slope of the ridge. The little assistant squad leader is all but bursting to talk. Sir, it's about the lieutenant. He started writing the condolence letters, all of them, tonight. Thompson's getting ahead of the curve, Captain. We won't be shot at for days. Guess I better go see what's going on with him. You find Thompson on the reverse slope of the ridge, seated upon his bedroll with a clipboard for a desk. He is set penned to paper with a frown of intense concentration. Beside him lies a familiar stack of condolence letters with a decidedly non-standard issue Colt pistol for a paperweight. I wondered where all the paper went. Sorry, Captain, I'm in the middle of something. By the time you read this, you will have been notified of the death of your son, Don. It is not my intention, as commanding officer of the company of which he was an integral part, to offer you more perfunctory condolences. I have your bereavement sincerely. I share your bereavement sincerely and extend to you my deepest sympathy. Your son conducted himself gallantly in action against the enemy at Peleliu, Palau, and has been recommended for a Navy Cross. It was in repulsing an enemy tank attack, at the edge of the airport that he gave his life, that others might live. Single-handed, he knocked out a lot of Jap tanks. Donald Mellon was an honor to his command and the country he so courageously served. Respectfully yours, Robert W. Schmidt, First Lieutenant, Commanding Officer. Take a seat beside him. The two of you sit together for a while, saying nothing but watching the war go by. At last, Thompson sighs. My father used to do that for me. It didn't really help back then. Tell me about these letters. Well, I write them. One for each soldier in my platoon who's going home. Sometimes they're just mangled up, pin shy or finger short. These letters are easy. He'll be able to tell the folks themselves. I'm just putting in a good word for him. But the others, I tell him how it happened, who he was with, and what he was doing, and I try to fit in a few details about who he'd become, what he'd gone through. Finally, I tell him the boy died for something, that ending his war will be worth it, and that's it, really. That's a lot to fit on one sheet. Yeah, well, you figure out what's important enough to say when you don't have a lot of space to say it, and I heard that before. But then I also liked reading Hemingway. Let's discuss your plan for these letters. I'm going to send them along. That's what you do with letters. They won't get past the censors intact. But you can get around that, can't you, Captain? You can say you censored things and they'll believe you. Yeah, sure, sounds good. Thompson may gain fatigue. Lie. Test cunning. Test professionalism and idealism. Risk for prestige. I could never lie like that. Oh. I guess you're right. I'm sorry for asking. Tell me about the pistol. Sure. Private Farrier found it somewhere, gave it to me for safekeeping. Don't worry. I'll give it back to the Army, eventually. But right now it's helping out. Kind of comforting. It being a paperweight. You got an odd sense of timing for this. Not nearly as much as the other guys, but this isn't for me. It's for the folks back home, waiting for their sons and husbands, hoping their blue star won't turn gold when they get that telegram. My letter should be there with it, to give them something to hold on to, like I was there to tell them their son died, a hero doing what I told him. You write each and every letter. Who else could? If a man gives up his entire life, everything he could be, then the real letter's the least he deserves. You have to write these letters, but don't let it consume you. I know you'll do what's right. Get it done. But I don't... Is this testing... I guess it is testing my... I don't have any of these. He's a good kid, and even his sense of humor isn't quite there yet. Serious and driven. He chose to tackle these letters head on, all while working quietly. Echoes of his father. These are all just going to be zeros for me, which is sad. But it is what it is. Like, there's no... I think because I'm all about caution and discipline right now. I got none of this. I understand what you're doing and why. I'm glad you do, Captain. Maybe some folks don't understand, but they're not here. He idly scoops up the pistol, shoving it into his musette bag. The letters that had been pinned beneath it flutter softly in the breeze. Thompson signs his name at the bottom of the current letter, beneath the word condolences. You only hope you won't be writing a letter for him in the days ahead. Before you know it, a new day dawns, same as the last. Your boots whisk through the tall grass as you head toward 3rd Battalion's command post for the usual briefing. This time there's a single, massive tent there instead of the cluster of smaller ones. Stranger still, the canvas is definitely not U.S. issue. Private Roberts pushes his glasses to the bridge of his nose as he eyes the structure, doing what a good guide is supposed to do. Looks like circus is in town, Captain. Think they got giraffes? Don't I wish. They only had that one little elephant in Morocco. Oh, an elephant. Did you take pictures? Didn't have a camera. Maybe Morris or Patterson can get me one cheap. They're always finding things. Robert stays outside. No doubt he'll go looking for that giraffe. The interior of the tent is crammed full of army desks and men, not just from S2 intelligence, from S3 operations, too. Usually those are under a separate canvas. Lieutenant Colonel Heinches leans over a sand table at the back of the tent, gesturing at some terrain feature with a sweep of his hands. Across from him is a dashing figure you haven't seen in weeks, Captain Cordell Boston of the Vaunted Rangers. Rangers must be nearby. This is clearly not a social call. I'm afraid your Colonel Darby is incorrect. Our engineers have determined that the slope here is not passable, too steep and rocky. El Darbo saw with his own eyes last night. If he thinks it can be done... Ah, Captain, we were wondering if you got the message. Regiment has a new plan for pushing the Germans back toward Messina. The new plan is the old plan. Before we get going, what's with the tensor? Oh, this? Division's foisting it on us. They call it a war room. Some smart-ass on Truscott's staff thought it'd be a good idea to have the staff sections share office space and maps. Ideas will be fewer screw-ups. Canvas is a good design, even if it is British. Well, we aren't 8th Army. What works for Monty's guys won't necessarily work for us. Seems effective. It does. I'm going to suggest Colonel Darby copy this, not that it'll help us with tomorrow's attack rush as it is. Artillery support? There will be artillery, but the ridge we'll be sending will make use of it less than optimal. But at least we'll have Cord and his rangers on our left. Invasion, artillery, and assault. 2nd Battalion of the 30th will make another short assault. Once their boots are dry, they'll cover the road while the rest of the 30th, 7th, and the Rangers cross the Zapula River and assault Nassau Ridge. We take it, hold it, break up any counterattacks, and link up with the landing force. The sand table shows the avenue of approach. It's not pretty. All uphill, and without much cover for part of the way. Even without using assault transports to tip your hand during the river crossing, the 30th is going to have to hold for a while. Problem is, the enemy isn't going to be fooled twice. They'll be expecting this. We'll have to hit them as hard as we can. Since the two of you know each other, at least a little, I've assigned Nickel Company to the extreme left flank going uphill to Marco. He'll be closest to the Rangers and Captain Boston's own company. He's given the okay on that as Colonel Darby's proxy, but I want to hear from you whether you have any reservations. It'll be an honor to fight beside the Rangers. Indeed. I could hardly say otherwise. For a moment, the Colonel cracks the slightest hint of a grin. There's also the matter of the 2nd Chemical Mortar Battalion. Chemical mortars. Smoke laid by a chemical mortar is particularly thick and will heavily obscure, but it won't last. The Germans will be shy about shooting out a smoke, but it will reduce their accuracy. Field manual should be heavy enough to obscure the line of sight, but smoke dissipates after a few minutes. It is 1/3 less heavy. A few minutes more, it's another third gone. After that, it won't do much good at all. Okay. Smoke can only be produced by special units, chemical mortars. Okay. Others exist, but not all artillery forces have sufficient smoke rounds on hand to saturate. If they do have that capacity, they'll be designated as such. Smoke cuts both ways. You might be hidden from the enemy, but they are also hidden from you. If they can't fire accurately out of a cloud placed over them, your men will also fire with reduced accuracy at the target. Will the big mortars slow us down on that hill? Maybe, but their added firepower will be worth it. And the Krauts might not expect that kind of mortar concentration. Plus, they've nearly twice the charge. They can shoot half a mile further, too. I like it. So we're to brass tacks, because as Lieutenant Stern could have told you, there's a lot more to using a mortar than firing it. Some commanders would prefer an outfit with a longer track record. Can't say I'd agree, though. They're fools. Guys over in the 45th say the chemical mortars worked ones at Safalu. I want them backing my ranges. And I want them covering my dog faces, which is why we're here. The two glare at each other for a moment. Do the dog faces get a say? Do the dog faces get a say? Both men snort at that and turn your way. Yes, Captain. Trouble is, if we get into a brawl over this, chances is neither of us will get what we want. Yes, I don't know about that writing there. That seemed kind of... Was that supposed... I didn't sense there was any animosity between those two. I didn't really catch that from the writing. Anyway. Since Nickel Company is going to be closest to the Rangers, I'd hoped we could all come to some agreement over the mortars. The Rangers are good enough not to need them, I think, right? Rangers are good enough not to need them. Oh, hell, would you look at that? Victims of our own success. The Ranger Captain formally salutes Heinches. They meet your gaze in passing before heading off. Those mortars should come in handy tomorrow, but they still won't make things easy. Good luck. Dismissed. Your command post lies in the shadow of a lemon grove next to the burned-out hulk of a farmhouse. Ripe fruits hang from the branches, inviting any passers-by to grab out and take a bite. Judging by the drawn but satisfied faces on some of your men, more than one already has. You'll have to summon your officers. There's planning to be done. Morrison and Patterson, tall and short together, hurry past, leading a harnessed donkey away from a tank, and back toward first platoon by a rope lead. Evening, Captain! Skip this, the donkey goes away. Hold up a moment. Yes, Captain? What do you plan to do with this animal? Georgia here is a donkey, Captain. Why have him carry things? Ammo, food, water? Important boy-like things. You tell me you didn't name it after Georgie Patton. General Patton. What? No, Georgie's name is a work of fiction. Yeah. All resemblances to any stick-up-the-ass three-star general, real or imagined, are purely coincidental. Then he adopts Morrison's sane grin. How do you intend to keep care of the animal? Well, between Morris and me, we'll handle the feeding fine. Robertson's around if you need anything more. This has to be, yes, he will crap in your tent if you let him. Understood, Captain. Well, be careful, just like we would with any recruit. Seems like he wants something from you, Private. Well, I guess he'll eat cigarettes if you let him. He'd die at the front. Too much paperwork, I'll keep a blind eye. We'll make him the mascot. Thank you, Captain. The ass, Georgie, I mean, will be no trouble. Naturally enough, Georgie agrees. You hear that, Georgie? You're a cotton battler now. The three of them walk high, their heads high. Okay. With things developing, you summon your officers and sergeants to pass on the word about tomorrow's attack. In the fading light, you brief them about tomorrow's assault across the Zappola River and up the slopes of Hill DeMarco. Oh, Dearborn's back! Oh, thank God! I was afraid you'd snuffed it for good. I'm once more astounded at our regiment's confidence in our abilities. Perhaps they will expect us to drive all the way to Messina and then walk across the strait as well. I've seen worse. This war the last. Philippines. China. Wish we had howitzers for this work. Or more mortars to cover the advance. Thompson raps his knuckles on the camp table. We'll do it, gosh darn it. Smoking or no smoke. Our patrols will find a suitable assault path. The others nod. The way up the ridge will be vital. Thompson should do this. Send Glasgow on this one. You know what? Call it what you want, but I call it messing with the kid. Gosh, Captain, this is a tough one, but I won't let you down. Darkness falls. The patrol goes out under Thompson's command. You settle in to wait for their return. At specified intervals, your 2 machine guns fire a timed burst of tracers into the air, a sight visible for miles around to help the patrol triangulate the point of the river crossing. The strain builds hour by hour, until at last the soft slosh of footfalls is heard in the night. The patrol have crossed the river once more, returning with their weapons unfired, and their faces flushed with success. The Germans are definitely on the slopes, Captain. They're chopping down trees and making fire lanes. Tomorrow's going to be a tough one. Overlapping fire lanes. Yes, Captain. It's only a few ways up the slope, and they've got them pegged. There's little else in his report to add to that. You have Thompson update the map before sending him off to sleep. Tomorrow's going to be a busy day. Before sunrise, the men in Nickel Company gather at the river. The members of the patrol are still groggy from the last night's patrol, but a round of coffee clears their head and does the rest of the men good. Thankfully, the waters have gone down in the night, and the men cross in silence. Turn 10. Moderate casualties. Dang. Dawn lightens the eastern sky as you wade across the river to the far bank. The high ground is bathed in gray light, but the ridge casts its protective shadow across everything for a while longer, and once they are across, your squads gather unseen. You give the order and gesture toward the ridge. Advance.
Machine guns and Army zeigen.
It looks like it's a par 3, guys. Hey diddle diddle, right down the middle. What is going on? Wait. Is this... Okay, this is just kind of... Oh, are we hitting it with smoke? I see, we're smoking them up. That's why it's all weirdo here. Why do I still have Chirazi here, whoever the heck this guy is? What's his name? Acting Lieutenant Shaw. So is Dearborn dead or what? Assuming that was just Dearborn talking from his like convalescence bed or something, right? Four objectives, 0 so far. I see. One objective is a minor defeat. Fine. Hey, at least we get one objective right off the bat. Primary objective there. So it seems pretty clear we're just going to have to immediately start the attack, right? There's no two ways around that one. What time is it? 10:41. Nope. That's 2 hours. That's well over the limit at this point. I think it's time to call it. We will leave it go right there. This one's going to be, it's tough, but it's at least a lot more straightforward than the last one. I probably won't, there's no flank in this one. This is just straight up, hit them with smoke, and let's hope for the best. Actually, I do have one thing I'm wondering about here. Let's go to Captain St. John. What do we have? 60mm mortar. That is it. We only have the freaking mortar. You guys keep telling me I'm going to have like serious stuff here, and I never seem to have it. I'm getting kind of tired of that. I'm still not clear what happened to Dearborn. I guess he got knocked down, but he sounds like he's still alive, I hope, because we're still seeing him in the dialogue, so there's that. All right, I hope he didn't die. I like the guy. Anyway, thank you so much for joining. Be sure to hit like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and if you didn't, hey, give us a thumbs down. Thanks for watching anyway. All right, we'll catch you on the flip side.